Darling and some other people are online. They said hi. I just said hey back. I'm doing this now. It looks like they're all doing content together because all of them are in another world in the same location. Yeah, I'm looking. Okay. Don't you need to, or is it the other phone? It's a kind of toxicity, it's a kind of maybe that just works. The hard part of it is, I guess a big part of the difficulty is also confusing. Frankly, your body. Because I would say, like, your body was more, for lack of a better word, like, evil. Like, you could potentially push your body a little more when it comes to the strain of, like, trying to find work and stuff, but, I mean, even still, it's the income that's talking background is looking toward the fact that it's kind of looking for the perception and that kind of things, you know. That's like no time to do anything. And even with me being there, yeah, okay, I get off and I don't really do so much doing the same job, but frankly, there's not a lot of stuff I can do. Yes, but I'm exactly. That's the main point that I was going to say, because I think a big caveat to that is because of the fact that we are living in someone else's house, that means we have to squeeze in all of like our time and the baby's time, like everything, into such a small time to not like cause friction. Yeah, but part of the reason they were saying the baby to go to bed at 8 is, I guess, me trying to think about it realistically, I would imagine part of the reason mommy suggested that is because the fact that Scott is good on my baby part and stuff, so go to bed at 8, that gives time that she can actually fall asleep so that potentially Scott can go to bed from the electric, depending on how much the sound carries throughout the whole house. as well as for the sake of like her schedule, since she's the one like watching the baby girl. But that's what you told me earlier. Maybe I misunderstood. So if anything, they were saying more so for her to go to bed late, but to keep her up so that she sleeps through the whole time. Right here. I do think this is, I guess, obviously it's a hard balance between assuming the word reality. It's just that I genuinely have seen your mom make decisions with certain stuff. That's something. Yeah, she's making the decision saying we should do this, and then like the reason without it being stated is that because it's bad or something. Like, it seems like, so like, yeah, maybe it is me assuming the word, but I guess as far as I see it, like not exactly without it. Watching. I went up there on my phone. I have two people watching. Who's watching? Who's watching this? What? I guess I do have the microphone. So whoever's watching, hi. Yeah, I'm just technically doing a fair amount. It's a work in progress. It's needed to get really tough. You're right about that. So like, it was so hard for you to find this game. That was something like that. I highly doubt my mom is tech savvy enough to figure out how to get here with how much effort it took you. Do me a favor. Can you send it to a chat message? The reason I ask is I have it set up so that chat should pop up on the screen. So if whoever is watching, like said anything, I should be able to see. So I guess I'm welcome. I guess it's also hard to say if you put something on, like you can feel what so far. Yeah, I would like that. Because I've been streaming a couple days and like different platforms. I've been eating. And also 0 people. No, but so whoever it was joined probably for a second. Did you ever open up more than one time? Okay. Yeah, so someone literally just joined it so they saw it kind of thing. One watching for me. I mean, remember, yours is like 1056. Trying to get this out of the way while you were doing it. It's so good. As you can. But surprisingly, like the second I go into it, I guess just bringing it out there, childcare costs is not an issue. Either way, I feel like I understand what you're feeling. It's like, obviously, you don't want to work, you'd rather spend the time with her because the goal is to appreciate that time more, right? as I can get it. That's on top, but I guess I'm just going into the bottom. It's just difficult because on that same vein, like, okay, one of the things that we can do again, assuming this hypothetical we're doing here is we have the option of, okay, besides like bugs and stuff, which I often push myself to keep doing, like we're too tired and we want to prioritize rest because it's been a hard time. Let's not do our dishes, or let's push them to last possible minute. Let's Baby had a random midday nap. Let's prioritize me and you playing tech, or like spending time together, like or like late day. Like we literally have those options. Not that we always often even take advantage of them, but like they are available versus like it being taken away at times. But I mean, that's assuming the daycare works. It's assuming the price is similar. Like there's so many factors to it. Because even as far as our rent, let's say for sure you end up having to lose your job or look for a new job. That's the route we were going because outside of the physical strain on your body, um, there's also the fact that you like your bosses are terrible fucking people. So it's also a kind of like stress and cortisol and other things that also affect baby. That's something we have to keep in mind. So even if we are trying to tough it out, frankly, I'm not necessarily even saying you should try to tough it out at Vesta, but then that's the strain of job hunting and stuff. But let's say you can find another job. I don't have high hopes that it would be anything remotely similar pay-wise. The flowers fully true, by the way. Well, well, sorry, I just happened to take a sip of tea. So anyways, yeah, like I mean, we keep kind of going back and forth with all of it because it's so simple. I guess here's the point where it's at. Like the only benefits I feel like really come from it, which I don't mean that in like they are not big benefits, just to be clear. But like I really feel like the benefits come in from like you being able to be a stay-at-home mom, so you're able to really try to appreciate that time and be there for everything and not have to work. So the extra reduction on your body of like literal strain. We were going back and forth on the money, so if you want to cancel that out, even though I do think we would save a little bit, there's that. The only reason I didn't say that is because I don't know what the expectations will be of us in all truth. Yeah, that's I don't know. Yeah. And the other thing is, if we're talking about me going back to school, that's getting into a whole nother mess of like I no longer have income. I'm taking out loans essentially, or trying to go to school and like work, which means even less time, both free time and like time with you guys. So I don't know. But I also wonder about potential judgment if I am going to school but not working and trying to just focus on studies. I don't know. Yeah, yeah, since we were talking, I was wondering if I should queue for the next thing for tomes, but I don't want to take away your time thinking, you know, last time we got stuck in the cycle of vengeance and stuff. I'm downstairs already. Um, Here's what I was saying since you're actually looking at the stream. It must be really delayed because I've been downstairs for a minute. Like, it's a little weird. I already put it there for you. I don't mind the idea of this. Obviously, it's partially into the ground, so it would look different. Like, this is, if you're just trying to fill space, like, I don't mind the idea of this in a different color. As far as the other wall hanging stuff, it's just that they go into the ground, so it's hard to see exactly what they look like. That's funny. Like, they're in the ground, so like, again, as the thing I keep going back to is like I can see the little icons of what these things are, but you set a combination of this with the little tables and the little shelves and the little whatever they're called. I'm missing the name of them. I didn't. The thing is, in all truth, I didn't like most of these. I'm in the section for shelves and chests. Huh? The birds? Oh, yeah. Look at that. HD birds. The truth is that I don't like the size of a lot of these things. They're either, like I told you, like massive or like too small. Like, I guess I know we're doing this together, so I don't want to like just tap out. But like, if there's something you specifically like or want there, like, I guess not that I'm to the point because it's too strong, but like I haven't found anything that I like. So if there's something you particularly like, I kind of feel like just telling you like put it there and like I'll deal with it. You get what I mean? Because as far as like my input, like there's nothing that I'm seeing that I'm like, yeah, I love this, or like I really like this here. I think it goes well. So especially that you're feeling like, yeah, like this space needs something. Like, I don't know. I'm going back to it. It's hard for me to picture. At least the short pillar bookshelf by itself, I don't like, and at least me trying to mentally imagine something with it, I feel like it'll be a little weird, but it's hard for me to see without physically doing it. Was there a specific console that you wanted to try it with, like inherently, or like first off? I asked for the sake of, since I just added the short pillar bookshelf to my favorites, seeing the price of each of them, and if it's cheap enough, me just getting it to physically try it, because I'm having a hard time like picturing it. But it depends on the pricing on how expensive these things are. A small wooden shelf and miscellaneous. Do you remember anything else about how it looks? Is it in wall mounted? I've been checking shelves in every category. That's why it's like something that goes on the floor. It's something that mounts on the wall. I just checked through indoor furnishing and tables. Let's see what's there. Okay, I guess I'm gonna go back to that category first because I haven't looked through there. Maybe this one? Yeah, Barrett off the floor carpenter. I guess let's see. Check the prices. If it's tabletop though, which I think that was the category it's in, I don't think you'll be able to put anything on it. It's already considered a small item. So it'll stay blank with the books next to it. If that affects your opinion on it. It's about 50,000, so it's not super cheap for the short pillar. And the wooden showcase is also 50,000. So you do it by itself, or what would you put with it? I guess I'm confused. I thought you were saying that you would do the wooden pillar, book pillar with something. I thought the thing you were saying you would do it with would be this. Well, I was asking what kind of console, and maybe I misheard, but it sounded like you were talking about this item, this show shelf. So, like, what kind of console? The way around is too small. I just pulled it up. It's tiny. I feel like that in the book tower looks weird. Yeah, it's pretty low to the ground and it's small. I didn't buy it. So each one was 50,000. It's not that I don't like it. I don't like the size of it. I feel like it's bad proportions. Like it's too tiny. And then even with the other thing here, like I feel like it just looks kind of like odd and small. I didn't like any of it, if I'm honest. That's the item. Take your time and save it. Yeah. I guess I can go do a boss. Well, no, we have one down there, right? We have the quick down there. Okay. I guess you could use like a changing screen kind of thing. Or do you not like the idea of something like that? What is the point of this? Like, it looks like a ramp more than like a screen of what I expected. Pretty. At least I'm doing. Here you go, maybe. That's the one. I remember being bite the baby. I don't know if you heard what I was thinking about any of the partitions. If that's anything that caught your eye or would be open or cute. But you can not talk anymore, at least for a little bit because of that. What I did like about the partition, especially, although I imagine it's expensive, that the specific like celestial one, is that depending how it's done, it almost looks like a decoration piece, like in the same way where people hang like paintings on their wall. Because if I were to flip that around and like put it right up against the wall here in that space, it would like cover one of the panels to break up the wall without actually like it wouldn't necessarily be like a full-on partition, but because of the preview, I can't push it all the way against the wall. Like color-wise, it goes with what we have going on here, and technically you can even dye it, which changes the hue of the metal. Um, I mean, it might be very expensive, but I mean, I just like the starry aesthetic, but yeah, I'll check that, I guess. Yeah, they're not for sale here at least. Let me check Universalis. Yeah, they're super expensive. Like, the cheapest that exists is 500,000. I mean, I can see why. It's super pretty, and it has I don't know if you understood it or like had even read what it meant, but there's like a score next to items of like how I imagine it's for profitability, like how profitable they are and like desirable they are to people. They have the 560, which is definitely a high number. Yeah, on average, they sell for like 900,000. So our server is actually on the low side. Um, so definitely not a buying that. I'm curious if it's something you have to like drop or if you can like craft it. Yeah, it's a level 90 craft. Yeah, I imagine it's either a drop based craft or something like that. So back to the drop. No, I can check now. Yeah, I forgot that was an option. I hadn't gotten to that category. I imagine they're in the wall category. Oh, stupid. Yeah, you can't even fucking see it. And even with me standing here, doesn't even smell like it. Like, I thought I gamed the system by like jumping up here. I guess inherently, based on my icons and stuff. Um, I guess I'm open to a lot. What colors do you want to go for? Size-wise, I think some are better than others. Um, Obviously, I can't see the whole thing. Because we have the carbuncle, like we could do something like the moonlit window, like the blue one. I think we can get away with like a curtained window, like the imitation one. Um, if you wanted a pop of color, we could even do like the Far Eastern stained one. Um, I think we could do the simple arched window. And I guess the plain square. I guess even the full portal. Like a lot of the windows can potentially work just based on the design aesthetic. Are there any that you lean towards at least immediately? I guess let me add some of them to my favorites to see how much they cost me. It shows two people watching. Wait, hello, if you're someone tuning in, working on creation of our castle called Pom&Feather. Right now we're shopping for the downstairs. Kind of fell one of the last caps at the bottom. At least now the title is accurate. versus being touching. So the imitation window's 35, the fool's portal's 22, the simple arched is, wow, almost 50,000. The Far Eastern stained one is 27. The imitation with curtains, so far the cheapest one, at 17. The moonlit's 50,000. Yeah. So inherently, at least for spacing, I'm okay spending 17,000 because I was just earning that much. Like before you logged in, before you were able to see, I think I ended up having like 50,000 gil come in from my retainer. I put more stuff for them to sell. Yeah. So. But with that being the case, I could also get one of the other prettier windows, depending on like where your head's at with it. If you want to stick with like the blue theme, like the moonlit one, because we have like a lot of pops of blue from the carbuncle, like the top of the hat rack has a little bit of pop of blue. The upstairs obviously has like little pops of blue for like the coffee siphons and stuff. In the same vein, we could also do the Far Eastern stained one to do like multicolors, like a little bit of pink, like the bed and other things like that. I'm open. I guess if there is another person listening, I'm currently talking to my wife, who I share this house with, and we are trying to decide the different windows. I think I'm open to a couple of them, especially because it's like I like us having our pops of color, especially at the walls, or like the white marble with brown. But do you think like the imitation moonlit one is too blue, like to be like a solid blue window, or do you like that it's like a nice like royal blue? It's one of our favorite colors. I feel like the Far Eastern stained one, which is actually stained glass, is more like that, versus the imitation one is more of like a solid blue. Like obviously I can't see it, but it looks more of like a different kind of glow. Again, I can try to Google it. Okay. Yeah, I can see how it's like stained glassy as a concept. Um, at least from the little bit I saw from the top of it, I didn't think it was that bad, but I guess it was still cut off because it was on the wall. Yeah, to start, because it's like it's a pretty blue. Yeah, that's why I was looking at that one first, because it's not as much. Because like obviously the Far Eastern is literally stained glass. For the other ones, it just looks like general wall. Yeah. Surprisingly, so far the database and some of the main places I go to look for stuff, um, they don't have pictures of it. No, the first two websites that I picked, just surprising. And then my phone froze. It almost looks like the velvet door. You know what I mean? Yeah, it is pretty big. Like looking at it, I would say it looks a lot more like a full-on door versus a window, which I guess is not inherently a bad thing. Like the downstairs is so small, it gives the illusion of like going into like another room. Um, but the other room just it's kind of little, which is interesting. Otherwise, we can just do the simple arch, but shape-wise, they're going to be almost exactly the same size-wise. Like it's still a long, um, tall kind of window. So it will probably also look like more. Okay. A little bit. No, I said it is smaller, um, but I don't think it's going to be that much smaller. And it's also a level 90 recipe. So it's still too early. Like, yeah, we're still way too early for that. We'd like to be able to craft it ourselves. The simple arch. Although looking at the ingredients, it seems like it's a simple recipe, meaning that is something we could potentially ask our guildmates to make for us if we chose to. But I don't know if it'd be cheaper than just like I don't know what the expectation is as far as if we should grab our own. Yeah. No, I've been at the market board. You're not watching that. The 3-minute one. Interestingly, it shows me my own stream, like on my phone. Like I opened YouTube, and it shows that like. Which one? Like the far extreme stained glass? Yeah, I can see why. No. Well, yeah, and they're not super expensive compared to the other ones, so at least starting with that, like let's grab one and see how we feel at the placement. Because that was one of the ones I was thinking to do potentially too. And like I said, it's nice because it goes with the like the bed and everything. Interestingly, I tried to open my own stream. Like I can't monitor like who's watching, or like even it didn't seem to really have like moderator settings. But I guess maybe because it's through the phone versus if I was like actually on the computer. So if someone's watching, I guess get the full tour. It's also possible YouTube's just duplicating because of like you jumping in and out, but the fact that I went to 2 viewers versus 1 is the interesting one. But we've got these frogs. Have our little frogs in the trees with being a very movable chocobo in the tree with a picnic section. Here are the chairs I got, by the way. I don't remember if you were watching the stream and I actually set them there. So I rotated the table a little bit so that like the coffee cups are kind of between these 2 chairs. And then like the fruit bowl, you can't really get it on center with this being here, so I just kind of like rotated it in general so that it kind of was in spot. We can work that way, like we can adjust it as a start, and then obviously have to dye the chairs, but that's all in your for all the dyes. And then here's the indoors. We're in a Berry account for one of our guildmates who loves them. The little filler. Alpha. And just a lot of sweets and overall coffee that by this is the coffee is brewed. That's interesting. Back to you. With a window, we can see how it looks. There's a world where, depending on how big the window is and how the space fills, maybe at that point it would look better to have yeah, it has to be because we're a Lala, because it's giving me a really hard time with placement. Like it was jumping all over the place. It actually casts a shadow, which makes sense, I guess, because it's a window. Yeah, I think reduces space. Like it's the equivalent of like if they put a marble, but obviously it being a little bit prettier. And again, goes very much with our color scheme. It's the exact, like it's kind of the colors that we've been using. The pink from the bed, obviously literal brown because we have that like this bed that has the cherry blossoms. as well as some of the colors from the Oasis couch, and then blue. So I think it's a good choice. No, I just placed it. I think I did a good job though. I think it's pretty centered. Wow. But like, does it look off? Because I feel like it's placed exactly. And what I did, because I don't know how the grid is going to snap it, I did it to match the curve of the little like notches on the wall. Like it's curving at the same curve as the circle. So you look at how the pillars have those two little jutted out like points on the left and right. I lined it up so that it kind of curves with it. You can adjust it. I won't say. But like, I think it looks good. But like, does it look off to you, or is it just because you're worried that it's off? Like, is it a mental thing, or is it because you visibly see it off? Good for you. I guess to be clear, I don't know that it was not. Yeah, I guess here. I put it on. It jumped it a little bit higher because for the snap grid, it ends up making it a little jumping between where I had it before. So this is with it. I think when I did it lower one, it didn't do what I was trying to say. So unless I turn off the grid, and then at that point I'm risking here. I did. So you were saying you want to do a second one of this though? It's also expensive. At that point, I'll wait. We can always buy it another time. Oh. Okay. Okay, good. And at least this is like flush, like it's not obstructing the way, but it still adds a little bit of like color. So that's what I was trying to say with the curtain. I thought the curtain was like that same idea. Like at most, you could put like a small like low table, like as an example, but I don't think it needs it, and especially with the light, I guess we'll see how it interacts. But I don't know if the preview does a good job of that until the item is actually placed. Like for instance, there's the I think it's under this under tables. Yeah, like the hanging floor cabinet, like something to fill this space. But now, yeah, it's gonna have like a light on top of it. See. You'll see it once it updates. Yeah. Like, see how it like cuts off and like, it's like when a projector goes over things. Like it looks prettier just hitting like plain floor. And like, yeah, you can walk into it and the light hits you, but like it doesn't like warp it the same. So, I think like this then. As we've done before, like all the rugs kind of suck. I'm going through really quick in case anything attention, but I don't think. No, and it, huh? Yeah, go back to it. I was going pretty fast. I like that it's like a stencil though. Like I can't, Even though it's not exactly a rug, I like that it fills the space that way, you know? Not for us, but like in general. I think it's a cute idea. I guess I'm surprised it's the only one. Like you would think they would do more of it. Huh? Yeah, I can try. But either way, it doesn't really go with the rest of our aesthetic. I don't mind the shape of this one, like the Riviera Oval, but I wish it was different colors. Like if it was a different color and I checked you can't dye it, like I'd be open to maybe filling the space with it, but like it's just the red I feel like doesn't really go with everything else we have going on. Oh true, you're right. So like it literally covers it up. Nah, really good. How do you feel about this? Yeah, it'll update in a second. I feel like yeah, I agree. I feel like it's hard, like the rugs they kind of slack. Yeah, nah. Where if you were gonna put it in the bathroom, did you have a thought of where? Not really. You know, it's kind of too big. Like it doesn't really work. Okay. So with that, would you say the downstairs is done, or I think when we last tried it, honestly, it wasn't necessary. Like it wasn't kind of necessary. Like I was open to it, but it wasn't good. I think looking at it again because of how it glows and how this room has changed, I think if it glows from the bottom and like the rest of the room kind of has like darker vibes. No, no, I know, but I'm saying like at least right now the light is like a little oppressive, like it's too strong. I guess it's better when it's tucked into this corner, but frankly, I thought it looked better coming out from the same side as like the main corner. I think that's too much. I think both corners being that. One, the light is really bright, so I think that'd be a lot. And two, I feel like it would be, I think it'd be too much. Based on how they designed this. If it was like a real life thing, I think that's doable. But like here, I don't think I'd like to do it. Okay, there's some left by there. Guess our house was born, or they got built. I have to eat still too. Um, I need to have at least one more meal. I told you because of how my day went with groceries and other things. I ended up having to like somewhat like skip breakfast. Oh, the light of the partition of the glass, it changes depending on when it is in the day. The light moves. Like, but right now it's gone because the sun is, I guess, too high. Like it's gonna switch to nighttime soon. What was the item? So it was a wall-mounted item specifically. Would it be considered a lighting, or would it be considered? So there's a wall lamp version of Lily that we have, but I don't think we need another one. Was it like ivy or was it like a branch? Because there's one that I see that's like a branch covered in ivy, and then has like little lights hanging, like three little lights hanging down. Was that it? Okay, I'll add to favorites and I'll see if there's any other ones. There's also this. Did you already close the stream? There's also this, but I don't think we need it either because the wall's already busy enough. It's like multiple vines hanging off the wall like vertically with like little pink flowers that light up. Yeah, I think it's too busy for our walls, especially because we already have so much color going on. Okay, yeah, so it's just that one branch one. Let me check how much it is and if there's any for sale. I'm not saying it can't have lighting. I'm just more so saying like I think the lighting of the wall partitions would like seem pretty strong. They're pretty expensive. It's 60,000 for one. I agree. I think upstairs so far has enough lighting, and the walls are busy enough that it's not necessary. As far as lighting, any specific thoughts? Since we can't move the chandelier, it'll be obviously like a wall-mounted light. Any specific aesthetic or anything that you were thinking, especially that we can't see them? It's most of them inside the wall, like inside the floor. Well, at least looking at them here, I don't know if they ever remove furniture. I don't know if every furniture piece is always available. The reason I start looking here and then Google is because I know for sure this exists in the game, you know? So there's like a basic lamp, which is like a black little lantern. I guess that's true. I'm open to it. I'm just looking to see what we got. I guess depending on how high we put it, something like the pendant wall light could work. It's like a long light on a stick, so it comes out of the wall across and then hangs down, so we could put it pretty high to light up the area as well. maybe the aloe, aloe, what the fuck you say it? I guess if we're keeping with the blue theme, we could try the stray for wall lamp, but to me, I don't think it'll match. It's a little too like goldy and stuff. So I guess it's really only those two. The pendant wall light seems pretty minimal, and then the aloe one are the only ones that I think the color scheme wise go with the room, at least based on visuals here. I mean, you can check what the prices are. Yeah, look at the pictures on your phone, and I'll check the pricing. The aloe pendant one is 45. The aloe pendant wall lamp is 45,000. Wow, and the pendant wall lamp, the other one that I was liking, is 125,000. So they're expensive. I wasn't even sold on it. So look at the aloe because I couldn't see the whole thing. Um, did I find the way? Not yet. I was just checking the pricing first. If you're not watching, I'm going to stop the broadcast, okay?